I'm Jimi Hendrick, and this episode is EA 44. Eye on the Goal on Empower Your Pattern 2.0. Hi, I'm Jimi Hendrick, member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Success, Confidence, and Thrive Coach. I wish to let you know that there are patterns to help you receive more, help you live a better and extraordinary life right now. I also believe that there are spiritual and temporal tips to help you overcome the adversities in everyday life. So if you come with me, I will show you these patterns. Get ready. Let's go. We'll be back to talk about goal settings, but first, a word from our sponsors. Hey everybody, J.R. Hendrick here. I want to talk to you about a service that can save you money. I'm talking about Flash Mobile. There's some good plans anywhere between $32 and about $75 per line. Unlimited talk, text, and data. To find out more details, get with your local ACN distributor. And God bless y'all. The James A. Hendrick School of Leadership and Flash Mobile forever. I want you to climb on the boat with me it's a chopper called the USS 99, okay? We're going to take a little adventure through goal setting today. Also, if you want, grab a little beverage. I can understand maybe some of you listen to my podcast first thing in the morning. I don't blame you if you do. Grab you a good beverage and everything. All right, we're going to go through what I call the SMART I method of goal setting. It's borrowed from the SMART method, but I add a little something to it. So, here we go. The first part, S. Are your goals specific? Reminds me of something that Presley Swaggerty said. He said, if you are looking at, if an obstacle is what you're looking at, you've taken your eye off your goal. You need to have your goals specific. You can't just write down your goals. I want to be rich. I just want to be happy. I mean, come on, that's all over the place. You're not going to achieve your goals that way. So what you need are goals that are specific. Like, I'd like to reach, get the ability to make $25,000 by the end of the year. Or eventually, I would like within 2 to 6 years, be able to have a net worth of $31 million. And I like that. Be able to get out of debt and call the shot. Of course, the rest of the SMART method comes with that, no doubt. But like my buddy Keith always said about prayers, the same thing about goals. Be specific, okay? Presley Swaggerty said the days of settling for less are over. And so that's why you need to have your goals be specific. Because if you're not keeping specific goals, you're settling for less, okay? You're just cutting yourself short. You ain't gonna shoot for a goal that's just specific. Les Brown says, if you aim for nothing, don't be surprised if you don't hit nothing. Be specific. Okay, that's That's a no-brainer when it comes to goal setting. State specifically what you want. I even think I especially also recommend, along with your goals, a vision board. Okay? Don't have it be stuff that you already got. Stuff that you attain. I mean, dream with a wild imagination, okay? But know that you got this. Pretty obvious, specific. And why not? It's part of what I call the diamond mindset. If you remember the early series, the very beginning of this podcast series in 2021, the diamond mindset. Well, that's part of it right there in specific goals. Okay? Now, I want you guys to get ready. Number 2, measurable. That goes along with achievable. Say you want to be net worth of $31 million in 2 years. Well, that means you got to find some way to make 15 and a half million for each year. Now, if you do 6 years, that's a little bit easier. Because you can divide it, but you're gonna have to, meaning that the measurable, you're gonna have to bust your butt and actually work yourself like you wouldn't believe. It needs to be measurable, because that's how it is. By measurable, I also mean write it down. Don't keep them suckers in your head. Well, what's it gonna do to keep it in your head? It's not going to work that way. If you have to refresh your goals, but just know this. Make them measurable, okay? Don't make it little. I just want to make $31 million. I just want to be a millionaire. If you want to do this, stop this episode and watch the dang game show on TV. Okay, that's ridiculous. But you need to have measurable. How much you would like to have as a net worth. Millionaire, come on. That's a beginner's cheesy level. Because you need more now in this economy. It's not like it was back in, say, the 80s. Things have changed with markets and recessions and the like. And that's why I say it's important to have it measurable. Right? I mean, let's face it. Measurable. I don't know. It's pretty interesting to have something defined, out there. Like an amount of money. Or, I just want a big house. No. Be specific and measurable. I want a 2-story house with umpteen bedrooms and just being specific and having it measurable. That's what matters. This method builds on one another. Having it measurable, that's where it matters the most. That's where it matters the most. So get ready. If you've got a good measuring yardstick for your goal, then you're halfway there. Okay? And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Because having a goal that's measurable, that matters a lot. It really does. It's important. I heard of this SMART method for achieving goals. I think it was back in the summer of 2019 when I got out of the hospital. But it's been, how do I say it? It's been a blessing to be a part of Toastmasters, to have those measurable goals. One thing I want to do by the end of this year is to complete at least one path in Toastmasters and not be, floundering around. In fact, maybe I should be bold and say, hey, complete one path, okay? Easy peasy, right? You can do it. I know you can. Now, number 3, achievable. This is where having your goal down in something bite-sized helps. I had a therapist tell me 9 years ago, she said, if you just put your goals in one big thing without putting down some bite-sized steps to make them achievable, then you're not going to achieve your goals. And I've discovered that that's true. That's very much true. Okay? You need to see those things. The importance. And we're gonna camp out a little bit with achievable, because I keep forgetting that I'm a little bit ahead of time. So having your goals specific, that's important. You need to have good specific goals. That's just common sense. Okay? Specific goals. I can't stress it any more than what needs to be said. Having your goals be specific, measurable, and attainable. But like I said, faux pas on my part, I got a little bit ahead of myself. But we keep on charging on like a rhino, right? Because like I said in episode last fall, nothing ever stops a rhino. So, like a rhino, we keep going on. We keep going on with these specific goals that we can step into, right? Specific goals, like I said, they're part of what I believe is the diamond mindset. You might want to look back as far as episode 20, like spring of 2021, not EA 20, even though that's a good one to look at as well. All right, measurable. Forgive me for being ahead of myself. Having measurable goals. Where you just can't say, well, I just want a big house. How big? For me, it's 2-story house. How can I say it? Very roomy. Plenty of bedrooms. Some office and podcast studio space. And, well, indoor swimming pool so I can swim year round. You get my drift? Pretty easy peasy to ask for those things. Good. Measurable. And, I'm not the king of measurable. But I think that's where it means using numbers to determine what your goals are. Like I said, you just can't be rich. You just can't say, well, I want to be rich. The specific is, the amount. The measurable is also the amount, okay? 31 million in 31 million in 2 years, okay? That means you're going to have 15 million and a half a year. But you bite it down to 6 years, it's 5.5. Making it measurable, right? Pretty obvious. Pretty dang obvious. Because if you don't have specific and measurable goals, you're sunk. In this method, the smart problem method, one builds up upon the other, and then, of course, the last part, the I, that's something that I've added to this method. And I'll explain a little bit more to it when we get there. But making your goals measurable is very, very important. Because if you don't put down, say, a number or something, for a 2-story house, maybe something more like need some research here. I'll be right back. Like I said, you can't say, I want a 2-story house. Say, I want a 2-story, 2,000 square foot house. And all the things that you put in there. Specific and measurable. I'm sorry, but that's something you need. That's something you need. Because without having it measurable, it makes you feel sunk. Alright? No doubt. Now, give me a moment. Because I feel like, in my instance, I need to quote some people. Here we go. No, don't try to sell me nothing right now. Alright, obviously I'm not getting anywhere there. Well, we could still try.
According to A to Z quotes, the major reason for setting a goal is for what it makes of you to accomplish it. What it makes of you will always be the far greater value than what you get.
Sorry about that, I'll have to do that. But Really having it measurable is what makes you you. What makes it possible. If you say, I just want to do this, and make the impossible possible. You need to make it measurable so that you can charge into it. Don't do like I've done. I just do and make the impossible possible. And then at the same time, other people say, you can't do it. And then you just succumb to what they want. I mean, come on. Do you want to play that game? I know, seriously, you don't. You don't. I know you don't. And so, bear with me and understand that that's why you need measurable goals. You need them in order to step into them. Because, like I said, the same thing applies to specific as measurable. It's kind of like, I just want a 2-story house. I just want to be rich. I just want to be happy. Yes, but can they be specific? And can they be measurable? Okay, these are building blocks. Are you going to be foolish and have to say, I just want to be rich. I want to be successful. I want to be happy. But then you just sit around, twiddle around, fart around, and don't achieve them. Let me tell you something, folks. That's misery. That's misery. We got about 4 minutes left, thank goodness, because having goals that are measurable are not necessarily my stronger suit. And so it's good to really, sometimes if it's something that I haven't applied to myself, I have to use some of that humor, and part of it just point at myself. Because, we're all on the success journey. It's just some of us are at different levels, if you know what I mean. But if you have a goal that is measurable, then shoot, you can keep an eye on that goal, right? I know you can. Deep down in my heart, I know that you can. But having measurable goals, that's what matters. I gotta be honest with you. Numbers and math, unless you get me some pictures like on a vision board or something, that's hard. That's hard for me to really get excited and motivated about. But that's only one element that is essential in achieving goals. It's having something that is measurable. No doubt. You need that. I mean, there are much more people in personal and professional development that are a lot more advanced than I am that can talk to you about achieving measurable goals. And thank goodness we only got maybe 2-3 minutes to talk about these things, because I decided to make this a 72 minute podcast and divide each of the 5 into 13 minutes. And so that's measurable goal setting. It's hard for me to really know how else to really qualify it. I mean, I've studied the SMART method in some ways briefly. But what I've done more of is listening to some of the greats about goal setting. Jim Rohn, Presley Swaggerty. Those two in particular have talked quite a bit about goal setting and the importance of that. See, goal setting is a wonderful thing. It really is. And to have your goals measurable, that means that it's top-notch Jedi style. I know it ain't easy. It ain't easy for me talking about measurable goals. Because I've never been one for numbers. And when I hear about experts talking about measurable, realistic goals, I kind of almost want to hurl. You know, because they use that yardstick to try to say, oh, he has these problems because his birth defects. He can't do it. I mean, come on. Give me a freaking break. I know better than that. And so do you. Now, thank goodness we're on to the next part, which is a little bit more my favorite in goal setting. And that goal setting, the idea is your goals must be achievable. And part of that, in some ways, is writing down bite-sized steps to achieve those goals. 9 years ago, I was in therapy. And I went to talk to her. I showed her my goals. And she turned to me and she said, Jimmy, those are very noble. Very noble. But now here's the thing. Here's the problem. I'd like to see you put them down in bite size. And so, during the time that I was home and everything and out of therapy, I would sit down and write down my the bite-sized steps. And some of them, I had my computer with me in therapy, and my therapist helped me come up with some more ideas for one thing I was wanting to be a professional speaker. I had told her that I had been bullied, and she suggested the possibility of me going to the public schools and talking about bullying. That is something I do think about doing pretty often. Or going to schools, helping people with their career advice. Really going past the deal where people say that you can't do anything right. You won't amount to anything. You can't do this. I have been hearing that crap all my life. But to have your goals achievable, that's one thing that matters the most to me. I can talk about this a little bit more than measurable. And that's why I didn't do so good in graduate school. Shoot, I don't need my master's degree. I see it. I got my MPD, my master's in personal development. Now I'm working towards my DPD, my doctorate in personal development, through, unofficially I'm at it, unofficially through Toastmasters. Okay? and having goals that were achievable. And it's too bad, I really didn't take what the therapist said to heart. I kind of floundered around there for a while. And then little by little, the Lord showed me what I could do to start working towards those goals. And I see now that He's had to take away a few things in my life in order to bring people to make those goals achievable. Because you see, here's the thing. Having goals that are achievable add fuel to the fire. A positive motivation in goal setting. Okay? I know what it's like. I know what it's like when you have these goals and you want to achieve them with all your heart. You've been bounced around. You put up with more crap than you want to put up with. And you're just trying to do what you can to succeed. And yeah, it gets overwhelming. But having goals achievable, I think sometimes that means making it to where it is, well, quite frankly, you have to make some sacrifices. And those sacrifices are going to be hard. And, in a future episode, that's going to be almost a month from now, I'm going to talk about one of the problems that works out if we don't make our achievable goals right. Okay, and that's why the last component of I is involved. Okay, because, well, you get moused around by the world and the distracted, defiant culture, and you're working the best way you know how. But there's a problem. You got achievable goals through bite size still, but I don't think you have a roadmap. I didn't. I mean, I was around kids who were in a chance where they wanted to be entrepreneurs. And if you ask me, I think entrepreneur associations in schools should teach people how to really be entrepreneurs. Teach them how to hustle. That's just my view, right? I'm glad that some schools have that model and use it. Praise the Lord. I know Harvard does, not the other one to go to Harvard. I believe Texas Tech has the same principle, and why not? Having measurable goals and teaching people that you're leading to have measurable and achievable goals makes all the difference. It builds on one another, okay? I'm sorry, I have to say this, it builds on one another. Because I'll tell you something, this blind man has been told, probably some people vicariously, through my parents, did it seep into me. He has no hope of a normal education. He's in a world of fantasy. He won't amount to anything. He's socially, emotionally, and mentally unfit for college. He can't do that. He can't do that. He can't do that. Hey, he can't do that. And so having measurable and achievable goals is what's going to help put your feet to the fire. When you got so many people telling you that you can't do that. as your success and confidence and thrive coach, I'm going to tell you, you can. You can. But having those measurable goals and achievable goals, that's what matters. But at least I'm having a little bit more easier time talking about having your goals achievable, putting them down in bite size. But I don't think that just putting them down in bite size is good enough. You need to have a developed game plan. You need to have a network of people who are entrepreneurs who can help you step into what you need to step into. All right? Because it can be hard. It can be hard. All right? But I want you guys to know that we are halfway there in this episode. And we have made it to 3 out of 3 out of 5. Yes, 3 out of 5. And actually there's going to be a 6th. Explained briefly. Has to do with, and we're going to talk about it. Integrity. That's the end game, is integrity. Alright, now, here's the thing. Having achievable goals and the game plan to go with it. Let me tell you something right now. It keeps you from just wanting to give up and just say, hey, forget it. My life is worth nothing. I'll never succeed and all that stuff. Come on, don't buy into that. Make attainable goals. Develop a game plan with a network of entrepreneurs around you. And go kick it. And if people don't want to believe you and people don't want to follow you, in this world, I want you to know something. The world hated Christ before they hated us. Okay? So regardless, have achievable goals along with that kicking game plan that you got, okay? You need that. It's cool to have that. To have something that's achievable. And don't maybe, it's somewhere out there. It's just somewhere out there. Me and my ex-wife. It's funny. She wanted wealth yesterday. But then her strategy was no clear game plan. Well, somewhere out there. Sometime out there. Sometime out there. Sometime out there. Sometime out there. Come on. I want to freaking just hurl. I want to just freaking hurl because that's nuts. Somewhere out there, that's about the same thing as you're ignoring all 3 of these steps. Back to ladder number 1, back down the stairs, please. You know what I mean? It's insane. It's insane, right? But we're going somewhere, okay? We're going somewhere with this. And you know that we are. You know that we are. Because I'm speaking my heart like nobody, like you wouldn't believe about this, having achievable goals. Having achievable goals is important. Achievable goals. Making it possible. making it to where you kick butt and you got this. Now, number 4, relevant. Like, you can't be like me and say, oh, one of these days I'm going to fly into space shuttle. I know for me, as exciting as that be, that's not being achievable. But one thing I can say is, one of these days, I'd like to someday, at some point, such and such date, fly in a chartered jet. Not as the pilot, but as a passenger. You know what I mean? I couldn't be an astronaut, but I could be a passenger in a chartered plane and enjoying a good time as I'm traveling, crushing it, and flowing, and getting it done. Getting it done. That's important. Relevant. It can't be something outlandish that you know in your heart that you can't do. That kind of goes along into the integrity, okay? Like, you can't say you're blind. If you're blind, oh, one of these days I'm going to be a truck driver and make 6-figure income from being a truck driver. Well, all over the country, and even Mexico, Canada, and Mexico too. That's insane. That's just saying what it is. Your goals have to be relevant. Relevant to you. What you really want. What your capabilities are. What your strengths are. What your weaknesses are. Okay? Because you need to know that. You need to know that, man. And I know you do. With all your heart. You trust me, right? You trust me with what I have to say. Because having relevant goals is just, it's keeping your feet on the ground, which is starting to live life. Now, I'm not gonna, some say that the R means realistic. Not realistic. I'm crazy. I'm being realistically crazy nuts. But anyway, I digress. What I mean is, don't be realistic. And I mean realistic according to certain aspects. When I told them I wanted to be, president of the U.S., president of my own company, I had case with the blind. Said, well, you're not making sense. You're not being realistic. And you don't know how often I wanted to say, hey, shut your mouth. Trying to tell me that I can't do something? That's like you, and I know you feel this way. I get tired of these dream stealers. Particularly the ones who say, well, I'm the expert. And seeing that I'm the expert, and I know expert, you can't do it. Because seeing I'm the expert, and I know expert, and being that I'm the expert, and I know expert, you can't do it. That's all there is to it. I mean, come on. What kind of a dummy move is that? Seriously. Do you want to play that game? I mean, come on, wake up. See reality for what it is. Alright? see reality for what it is. Because you can listen to people tell you, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. Give me a freaking break. I mean, come on. Idiocy? Idiocy on steroids? You understand what I mean? These experts that have told me, you'll never go to college. You'll never make it through college. Let me tell you something. I fought them tooth and nail. I fought them through the rights because I felt like a blind person such as me going to college was a relative goal. I had a girl that I dated in high school. And at first she listened to those experts, thinking, well, I'm not fit for college. And then she gets gutsy and tries for college. And then she quits saying, oh, it's so-and-so's fault. Becoming, well, quite frankly, a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you make your goals relevant, okay, you make your goals relevant, what's it going to do for you? You make your goals relevant, that means, hey, I can achieve it. But making your goals relevant means that you stick to them things. You stick to them things. Presley Swaggerty said it best. If an obstacle is in your view, then you got your eye off the goal. Okay? Listen to me. And listen to me good, okay? You don't want to take your eye off the goal. You don't. I know you don't. Listen, you guys are blessed. You can do this with your whole heart, and I know it. I know it. I'm saying this with my whole heart. There have been times, 2003 at the 99 when my marriage dissolved. I almost lost hope in my goals. When my buddy Keith died in 2003, I really lost hope in my goals. COVID hit, same thing. Only difference is now, I really think Heavenly Father set this up in order for me to hit relevant goals. And make decent sales in my businesses and everything. Just sometimes I need prayer to keep my goals relevant, to keep them specific, to keep them measurable, to keep them achievable. I need prayer. Okay, that's just part of the blessing, right? Part of the blessing. And you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You guys have reason to be so blessed. So blessed. Alright? And you know you do. I want to give you a quote by Dexter Yager here in a little bit. And I want you to listen to this and keep it in your heart, okay? Because of how he said it, that just grounded me. It made, it hit me like home. Like boom. You keep your eye on the goal, and you got this. No questions asked. You got this. You got it. Here's the Dexter Yager quote. A winner don't quit. A winner don't quit. A winner keeps his eye on the goal. He keeps his eye on the goal. Why can't we do the same thing? Having our goals specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant. Right? Why not? If you forgive me, I'm going to go ahead and move to this last piece because I'm being led to take this a slightly different direction. But it'll bless you. I promise you, it'll bless you. The final element, time bound. What I mean by that is a deadline. Have 30 customers by March 31st. Have 11 recruits by March 31st. Are you getting me? Are you getting me? Because I know you can do this. Have time bound. And when you're do the time bound, you have to crush it. You have to be crushing it. You have to flow. Okay? So many entrepreneurial experts talk about grinding. And that may be how some people view it. But I like what Dr. Delatoro McNeil II says, is, you just call it the flow. I'm going to talk about time relevance for about 10 minutes. And I know that that's slightly less than what I give the others, but it's important that I give the last part, the I, its due, and dovetail into some content that my good friend and partner, who you will hear from in a few days, you will get a chance to have a deadline. You have to have a deadline. This is crucial. This is crucial to achieving your goals. Okay. You can't just say, well, I just want at some point to have a network of 31 million, net worth of 31 million. No, can't do that. Well, I just want to have 31 customers and 11 recruits. No, you need a deadline. Listen to me, I need to hammer it to you this time. You need a serious deadline. Because you know what? It's that deadline that's going to make you push yourself a little bit more. And if you say you don't achieve that goal, it's easy to want to get discouraged, but don't. Reset the deadline. Move fast. Boom, 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 boom. You got this. All right? It can be easy to be discouraged, but sometimes you've got to reset those things. And don't give up. Don't give up. People must say, I'm going to give up. I'm going to give up. Come on, give me a break. No. Don't give up on your goals. Don't give up on your dreams. But you need a deadline to spur you on. Time bound. A goal that is time bound. And why not? Why not, huh? We're in the last, 17 and a half minutes of this podcast. And I know it's longer than any I probably had in a while. But goal setting is something I think I'm passionate about because, well, I've learned quite a bit about them. One of my business models I was in, we got together at Christmas party, and we were challenged to set our goals right after that party. Okay? And so you need to have your goals be time bound. Time bound. And go after them suckers. Go after them suckers. Crushing it, flowing, flowing. Crushing it, flowing, flowing. Crushing it, flowing, flowing. You say, well, Jimmy, why do you keep saying that? Repetition is the game when it comes to me teaching you guys sometimes. Especially when it comes to goal setting. And I'm speaking just to myself as I am to any of you. It's like I've said, sometimes I feel like this podcast is therapy for me, if you know what I mean. Because I've had my hang-ups. The SMART method kind of helps with that. Because from the time I was a child of 7 years old to now, you know, remarks like, even me receiving them subconsciously from people who just couldn't handle who I was. Oh, you can't do anything right. Oh, you'll never amount to anything. Oh, you'll never have a normal education. Oh, you'll never make it through college. You see? Over and over and over and over. And that's why you need a time-bound method for goal setting. Deadline. You got it? Any decent model has that set up. And you just move it and make it. You really do. Now I got about 3 more minutes until we get to the final deal. I'm glad to be at this point. I love the SMART method, but I wanted to add this last part because it dovetails into some comment that I have. A good friend of mine put it on his YouTube channel. At some point, I'm gonna have it on my YouTube channel, but you know, having a deadline to your goals. I can't stress how important that is. I mean, I'm speaking with my heart now and just telling you guys, having a deadline is going to bless your life more than you can ever imagine. Yes, I know it's scary. I know it's in your back. But let me tell you something. Sometimes that's what you need. Remember the talk I did about being all in? You're strapped in that shuttle. It's batting down the hatches. The doors are launched. And the fuel's coming in that sucker. And you're being propelled. You can't turn back. That deadline's there. You're taking off. No excuses and no exception. Time bound. Deadline. You need those things. That way you know, hey, it's due or die. It's do or die. Cortez, when he was getting ready to conquer Cuba, no one else had done it before him. One of the strategies he has told his boys, burn the damn boats. Burn the damn boats. And we have to do that. And part of that, burning boats, is time bound. You know, hey, do it. Go all in. Don't hold back. Have that deadline. Jump to it. You've got this. You can be on top of the world. And jump in this and be happy. And step in this and know that God's got your back. Okay, because you're not in this journey of success. You're alone. Your success, confidence, and thrive coach are observing things as far as the patterns of success. I'm here to guide you and to help you to work for the goals and stuff. I know there's going to be a few episodes where they're going to be dealing a little bit with psychology, but we're also going to get into some of the pretty hard skills, you know. Hard skills and human skills. Okay, now we like I said, make sure your goals are time bound. Because time bound is what makes a difference. Okay. Now, for the last 5.5 minutes, give me a minute while I access something. Now we're going to talk about integrity. You need to have goals that are in line with your faith, belief, and integrity. Okay? No cutting corners and making excuses and doing something that's dishonest or unethical. Okay? That's playing stupid. That's playing Russian roulette with your business, and it's playing Russian roulette in your life, and you don't want to play that stupid game. Alright? Me and my friend Rob, who you'll business partner Rob, you'll hear from him. And like I said, in a few days. One thing I gotta say is this, okay? Listen to me. You've got the best that's in you. And you're gonna need to have integrity. Because some of the world with this distracted, defiant culture, they're going to want you to compromise and drag you down. And in that, they want to keep you from achieving your goals. I remember when I was in my second senior year in college, my friend Charlie Nation, he called me. He was trying to make amends and everything. And he said, I can give you my computer, but I want you to do something. And it was something I knew in my heart and soul that I didn't want to do anymore. And I wouldn't do it. But I did not take the high road in telling him why I didn't want to do it. I wrote him a letter, and I lost my crap. And as far as I'm concerned, I feel like I compromised my integrity there. I was stooping down to his level, and with what I was learning in personal development at that point, fall of 96, I should have known better. I mean, I sat at the foot of a wealthy man by the name of Bill Britt, who said, if you're having an attitude issue regarding your business and your personal life, then you need a checkup and a neck-up. And that's what I needed. I was so hard-headed I wouldn't see it. Like I said, I was so hard-headed I wouldn't see it. And so that's why it's important that you have your goal setting in line with your personal belief and integrity. Okay? It's okay to just say, set your goals with one time abandon. But what do you become? Jim Rohn says it's all about the becoming, right? It's all about the becoming. Let me ask you something. You think you can take that? You think you can possibly think of yourself as being able to sleep at night and achieve the goal, knowing that you compromised your integrity? You think it's going to make you happy forever? No. It's going to come back and bite you. I hate to say this, but it's true. It's going to come back and bite you, and that's why integrity is important. Once you agree to stand rock solid with integrity, no matter what the world hits you, it should be easy. Okay? That's how I sleep at night. That's how I live by myself. Is I stay by the standards of my faith, what the Lord's called me to be. Okay? I could talk about these things till I'm blue in the face. One thing I will tell you is this. God wants you to have the goals with integrity, okay? There's no sense of farting around and causing problems and just compromising your integrity and acting stupid, thinking that you're going to be happy and achieving your goals that way. No. That's like saying just before the door closes on a rocket, you said, heck with it, you back up. I don't want none of that rocket. You break the shaft and then the door closes, you're left behind. There may not be another rocket come take you on your next venture. But here's my ideas, some final notes on goal setting based on a speech I gave at Toastmasters a couple of days ago. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Although you in the Empower Your Pattern family, known as Pattern Realm, lots of times I work hard on this duty here for my business and my personal goals. The title of my talk is Eye on the Goals. Eye on the goal. And you all have goals, don't you? Now I could hear some people say, yeah, I have goals, kind of, sort of, but I thought that those were for the dorky people. Because that's what some people in society want you to think. The fact of the matter is this. You know that you have goals. But what you need is focus. Our reactive culture, or should I say destructive defiant culture, wants us to focus more on labels, on what society wants. And that becomes a problem. Because some of us, we want to form businesses, right? Now I know we do. Or we want to make a difference in people's lives. Either way, Zig Ziglar said this. He said, a goal that's properly set is halfway achieved. And I believe that. And that's why I know each and every one of you in this room have goals. And you want to improve them. You want to know the starter of how to accomplish your goals? You need to associate with the right people. People who are sharp. Who have been where you want to go. You don't want to associate with just run down the street who ain't developing themselves, but set in their ways. I'm 53. Some people say, well, like my nephew a couple of years ago, oh, he's set in his ways. He's set in his ways and I can't stand it. But it's because I was different. I was goal-oriented. There's nothing wrong with being different. There's nothing wrong with associating with different people who want to let you hide. You don't want to hang out with people that'll just dumb you down. That's not going to help you with your goals. These 4 things govern my goals. Number 4, freedom. Number 3, opportunity. Number 2, luxury, but that which is guided by safety. And number 1, I'll get my church app on my phone. This is my Bible. That's what it says I have. I am what it says I am. I can do what it says I can do. My faith helps me prescribe my goals. Because you don't just have temporal goals. You have spiritual goals. My belief system, you can't separate the spiritual from the temporal. And that's the beauty part. But you've got to take stock of where those goals are. And focus. Where focus goes, energy flows. And prioritize what's important. Because that is what's going to bless you the most and help you bless people. That's what you want to do. You want to make the right call. You want to bless people's life while you are on this earth. before it's too late. Because you're worthy of that. Because you're worth that. You don't want to be like Joshua, I don't know nothing about no goals. I don't know nothing about no dreams. You're crazy. You people focus on goals and dreams, you're crazy. Well, that's their prerogative to believe that way. This is America. But the people who are going somewhere and who at some point have a need are goal-oriented. Because let me tell you something. While we're hustling, like you wouldn't believe, just hustling, this dude's back here going, oh, I wish I hadn't laid in the shade. Keep going with it. That is the beginning. That is the very way that you climb up that mountain to that crown that is your success. I hope you enjoy watching. Empower Your Pattern 2.0. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of Pattern. It's Jimi Hendrix saying until next time, don't just sit there and take it. Build your dreams so you can take it. Please share this with Mama Song, Papa Song, and everyone. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And do what others won't so you can step out, step up, and step in to have what others can't. Choose, act, and pursue happiness. God bless each and every one of you.